Hello everyone, welcome back to your online lecture. So, we are learning ecosystem and biodiversity. So, today we are in its part 7 and we are learning about biodiversity. So, without wasting your time and my time, I would like to continue with the next point. So, the next point is hotspots of biodiversity. First, tell me what is the meaning of hotspot? It's not your mobile hotspot. So hotspot means it's a place of significant activity or danger, violence. So first understand what is the meaning of hotspots. Now today's topic is hotspots of biodiversity. There are three important and representative hotspots of India, and they are the Western Ghats, the Eastern Himalayas, and the Indo-Burma region. So, these are the three hotspots in India. This will ask you for the MCQs, which are the important hotspots in India: Western Ghat, Eastern Himalayas, and Indo-Burma region. So let's see one by one. This point is very simple. Today you will learn about a simple point, and in next video I'm gonna teach you about objects of conservation of biodiversity and laws of biodiversity. So within 2 lectures this chapter will finish. So Western Ghats. The Western Ghats are a mountain series that run along the western edge of peninsular India. This part receives high rainfall. These regions are rich in moist deciduous forest and rainforest. We know that as the name suggests Ghats, so definitely there will be having a huge rainfall. The region shows high species diversity. Nearly 77% of the amphibians and 62% of the reptile species, as well as high levels of endemism. See, this region contains a high biodiversity. It includes 77% of amphibians and 62% of the reptile. From the percentage you can understand how much biodiversity is there. Then along with Sri Lanka, this region also shows some faunal similarities with the Madagascar region. Example, Sibinophis snakes, purple frog, and Sri Lankan lizard genus Nessia. So this is the description of the Western Ghat. If you ask me what will ask on this, I feel the percentage of biodiversity, like 77% amphibians and 62% of reptiles, and it receives high rainfall and deciduous forest and rainforest it includes. So like this they will ask MCQ. Then the next point is the Eastern Himalayas. You know Himalaya, right? The region is geologically young and shows high altitudinal variation. The region covers area of Bhutan, northeastern India, and southern, central, and eastern Nepal. It has nearly 163 globally threatened species, including one-horned rhinoceros and the wild Asian water buffalo. The first line in PPT is very important point in the point of from the point of MCQs. So this area having one-horned rhinoceros or the wild Asian water buffalo. So your answer should be the Eastern Himalayas. It is a house of 45 mammals, 50 birds, 17 reptiles, 12 amphibians, 3 invertebrate, and 36 plant species. Then, a dragonfly is an endangered species found here. with the other species in the genus being found in Japan. See guys, one more MCQ. Dash is an endangered species found in eastern Himalayas. So your answer should be, if the option contains dragonfly, then your answer should be dragonfly. Then the Indo-Burma region. This region borders the Indian political boundary and extends into the northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and includes the Andaman Island. Surprisingly, this region has provided new mammal species including Arunachal macaque, introduced to science in 2004. It contains a new variety of species, macaque, which is included in science 2004. Means previously people was not knowing about this species. The Latvian rock rat and the Bugenleocychla. Pronunciation is hard again. Then the Khasi Hills toad is known to few locations of India. See, the words are totally different. Even we are coming to know first time these such type of species and hard names. So this is all about 3 different hotspots of biodiversity. Which are they? The Western Ghats, the Eastern Himalayas, the Indo-Burma region. Now, the next point is hotspots conservation initiatives. Despite the great value of biodiversity, only a small percentage of the total land area within biodiversity hotspot is protected. Several international organizations to conserve biodiversity hotspots are, here few names of organization is given who focuses on conservation of these biodiversity hotspots. So which are they? Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund, CEPF, then Conservation International, then the World Wildlife Fund, then Alliance for Zero Extinction. So these are the 4 international organizations which are working on conserving biodiversity hotspots. So let's see one by one. So first one is Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund. CEPF is a joint initiative of Global Environment Facility, John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, Agency Francaise de Development, Ministry of Finance, Government of Japan, Conservation International, and the World Bank. So this is a organization which is jointly working with all these other organizations. It is a global program providing funding and technical assistance to NGOs and other private sector partners to protect biodiversity hotspots. So they provide fund, money. So that's why the name includes fund. Then, CEPF has provided support to more than 1,000 civil society groups working to conserve hotspots in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. So, on this point, they will ask you acronym of CEPF. What is the long form of CEPF? This much only they will ask you, and what it does. So first 2 points are very important on this particular slide. So let's see next. Conservation International. This organization is working to protect Earth's richest region of plants and animals and important marine regions. So this organization is only working for the country like who is having huge forest or different types of animal, isn't it? The line says like this only. It is working in more than 40 countries in 4 continents with headquarters in Washington. Their headquarters is in Washington. On this, I don't feel so. Is there any important MCQ? Then, the next one is the World Wildlife Fund. It has derived a system called Global 200 Ecoregions, the aim of which is to select priority ecoregions for conservation within each of 14 terrestrial, 3 freshwater, 4 marine habitat types. They try to conserve this terrestrial, freshwater and marine habitat. And the next and last point of this today's lecture is Alliance for Zero Extinction. It is an initiative of scientific organizations and conservation groups to focus on the most threatened endemic species of the world. They have identified 595 sites, including a large number of bird areas. So till now they have identified total 595 sites, and they work and they try to conserve the most threatened endemic species of the entire world. That's really nice. And last, which is not in the list, I would like to tell you about that. The National Geographic Society has prepared a world map of the hotspots and arcview shapefile and metadata for the biodiversity hotspots, including details of the individual endangered fauna in each hotspots. So guys, this is all about your today's lecture. We have seen just only 3 different hotspots of India, that is the Western Ghat, the Eastern Himalayas and the Indo-Burma region. And then we have seen about hotspots conservation initiatives. There are 4 different international organizations who are working to conserve biodiversity hotspots, and they are, first one, CEPF, means Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund, Conservation International, the World Wildlife Fund, and the last one is Alliance for Zero Extinction. So guys, tata, bye bye. Be safe and keep others safe.